Fuck's sake. Whatever.
So the story begins when a relic malfunctions in Deku's universe, because this relic is actually interdimensional. It connects to the Anthem world. That's what they call the planet Anthem. Deku didn't have a quirk, of course, but I'm gonna make him OP in this. You know, like the General Tarsus, or the General? He's gonna get her sword. Because I'm thinking he's worthy enough. Anyway. Deku walking out of school, and Bakugo still bullying him. Deku notices there's a blinding flash of light coming from the... not a light, just a sludge villain grabs onto Deku. Sludge villain realizes he doesn't have a quirk. And yes, it goes in canon, like when All Might destroys, like, captures the sludge villain, but yeah, he has the whole speech to Deku, but that is like, something happened really terribly. Deku's hope for being a hero was crushed by All Might. Him having to think of that breaks his heart. And yes, if you guys want me to do a redo of Deku Fallout New Vegas, I think I might do that. Because the other series, I don't see many views for that one, so that one's getting a redo. Because I'm rushing the story too much. So, I'm sorry. Anyway, Deku begins to walk home. Not after Bakugo sees Deku. Starts punching him. When Bakugo punched Deku, Deku activated a relic that was really camouflaged. The relic opened up. Everyone in Japan saw this blue light. And Deku was transported to, like, his whole body almost was, like, dragged into there. Like, the particles. Like, his whole body was particles. He was dragged to that world, and the portal closed, shutting it down and burning every last relic circuit that it was in there. The relic was completely destroyed. Bakugo's like, where the fuck did he go? Bakugo's like, huh, who cares? He's just a quirkless nerd. Bakugo, being heartless and the tyrant he is, just says that. But deep down, he's terribly guilty. Deku screamed like, ah! And Deku closes his eyes and says, this is it. This is how I'm gonna die. But he didn't. When Deku opened his eyes, I'm going to try something. I want to try with, like, talking without a mic, because I think my mic's pretty bad. So this will be this version's, and another what if's going to be without a mic. I want you guys to, because this is me wearing a mic, but I want you guys to see. Okay, anyway. Deku begins to feel the air. He feels like his whole body's like whole but fine. And Deku noticed that his body felt lighter, a bit more faster than usual. And if you guys are wondering, yes, indeed, this Deku is... Gosh dang it, guys, something's on my foot, sorry. Deku doesn't age in that world. He ages slowly every 1 year. Every time that it reaches a year, no, I don't care. He doesn't age, basically, but his body goes under certain changes, to be precise. As those changes are happening, he feels like he's a bit more stronger, smarter, and faster. Because, think about it. If he doesn't have a quirk, and if you're wondering, since he's in that world, those enhancements when he goes back to his world, he'll still be there, but even stronger than All Might when he was in his prime. You know what? His powers passed All Might when he was in All Might's prime. His powers are beyond one for all. Deku is incredibly strong, but he must face trials and overcome them. The first time he's in that world, he sees a Titan. Deku hunching down, trying to protect, hiding behind a tree, trying to hide himself. He sees some sort of creature, but he was just a flower moving around. And this flower is weird. Deku's like, hopefully that thing doesn't spot. Hopefully this thing doesn't alert this whatever this behemoth is. The Titan walks away. The Titan was there for 2 hours, and he walked away. Deku looks around. He sees a very old, sort of robotic suit. It has a gun and a pistol. Deku yanks the pistol, breaking the robotic guy's arm off, and it's freelancer's corpse. And Deku's like, oh. Deku's like, I wasn't this strong before. Why am I so strong now? He's wondering in his head. Not after. Deku's been there for 2 months. And of course, Bakugo's already in UA. But each step that Bakugo makes is different. Because in that time, Deku's going to be in the USJ attack. But he's going to be much more older, a bit more handsomer and stronger. Deku begins to look around his surroundings. And he does have some sort of ability. When he touches the water, he can see there's something in the water. He feels the whole area, the very world itself beating. It's like Deku is part of the planet. And I know, amazing ability, right? It's a superpower. Deku now begins to look around in the water and the rocks. He sees a Strider and an old freelancer. Not freelancer, a robotic guy miles away. And at that time, it took Deku more than 6 months to master the skill that he has in the water. And Deku begins to wonder, why does he feel like he's not aging? Deku was not aware of this, but he kind of noticed it. He didn't age. Deku is wondering, what the hell am or becoming, he's wondering. Deku closes his eyes and he sees something. He's not envisioning it, but he senses it. He knows what it looks like. It's a freelancer. This freelancer's name's Aaron. Freelancer thought this must be a local or civilian. Deku, meditating, just begins to say, I know you're out there. Show yourself, Deku says. Aaron begins to say, in his head, how does this kid know I'm all the way this up, right in the bushes? I didn't even make any sounds. And he is a Colossus. Aaron comes out of the bush and says, hey kid, how did you know I was there? Deku gets up and just says, I knew you were there. I sensed you in the bush. Even before you went behind a tree and just to hide. Aaron's like, you have sharp skills, kid. Anyway, who are you? Deku seems to imply, like, I'm Izuku Midoriya. Well, I just prefer to go by Deku now. Guy's like, Deku, huh? Pretty good nickname. I'll think I use it. Anyway, are you needing help in any kind, sir? Deku's like, if only you kind of knew, dude, that I just been here for like a year. Guy's like, a year? All alone? Deku's like, yes, indeed. I've been here for a year alone. But in that time, I've been mastering some skills and abilities. And Aaron's like, what sort of abilities? Deku sees to demonstrate that if he sees that mountain Deku's pointing out, and Aaron says yes. Deku picks up a tiny pebble and just throws it. In an instant, the mountain disappeared, completely destroyed. Nothing but like a smooth, like floor at the bottom of the mountain that was left. And the guy's like, what the hell? What kind of strength is that? And Deku says, well, I don't know. I've just been mastering it. But I want to do something with it. And guys, I'd like you guys in the comment section tell me if Deku was a freelancer from Anthem, if it is a good title. If you say, guys, it is a good title, then I will do it. Anyway. Deku begins to say, like, is there anything else do you want me to show you? The guy's like, yeah. Who the hell are you? Points the gun at Izuku. Aaron's like questioning if he's even a human at all. Deku says, I am a human, just I'm not from here. Aaron looks confused. Aaron's like, what do you mean? Deku says, follow me. Aaron following Deku. Aaron and Deku walk for 2 hours into a jungle-like forest. Aaron's like, this better not be a trap, kid. Deku's like, why would I try to trap you? Besides, it's not like me. Deku shows Aaron the device that brought him here. Aaron looks at this relic, and Aaron says, kid, you came from this thing? Deku's like, yes. Aaron's like, you have no idea how rare these are, kid. And Deku's like, what do you mean? Aaron says, well, these things are pretty old. And it's really hard to come by. And also, it will take like almost another 50 years for another one to appear. No, not actually 50 years, kid. Sorry, my mistake. It just takes like, I don't know, a freelancer's like on his like probably like when he's like in his age, when he's like in his like, fuck, I finally fucked it up. Sorry guys, I fucked it up. Anyway, I'll try to pronounce it again. When he's like old, and a young person finds it finally. Deku says, really? So, is there any others? And Aaron says, well, this thing's completely fried. There might be another one somewhere around this area if it was so close. Because usually you can find another one close to this area. Deku says, that's gonna take a while. Aaron says, well, your strength is unnormal. My name is Aaron, by the way. Deku says, nice to meet you, Aaron. Good to know your name. Deku and Aaron begin shaking hands. And Aaron says, "So, do you want to get out of this place and actually talk to some people?" Deku's like, "Yes, it would be nice. I've been just kind of lonely, and my communication skills are kind of rusty. So," and he's like, "All right, kid, just follow me to Strider." And Deku follows Aaron to the Strider. Deku's like, so that's what they're called, Striders." And Aaron's like, "Yes, they're Striders. Have you seen one before?" Deku's like, "Yes, I did. I did see one of the Striders a long time ago, and when I was picturing it." Aaron's like, "What do you mean picturing it?" Deku begins to explain that he can see everything the planet sees. He can see through rocks, in water, even in animals' eyes. And this guy's like, "What the fuck? That is too weird." Deku's like, Aaron's like in his head, like talking like that. And Deku's like, that's kind of a curse, to be honest. It's kind of weird. Aaron says, "Okay." Aaron and Deku get to the Strider. Shit. Get to the Strider. Aaron sees that they're going on a mission, and it's set in 2 weeks. Deku says, "Hey, do you guys mind if I help you with that mission?" And Aaron's like, "If you can pilot a javelin in 2 weeks, in 3 days, and know how it works, you're in, kid. But other than that, you're not ready to pilot that javelin. There's no way." Aaron says, "It took me 3 weeks. It took me about 3 months to get it working for me, and know what to do in scenarios." Deku's like, "If you can do it in 3 months, I can do it in 3 days." And Aaron's like, "Go ahead, try." Deku begins to put on the freelancer suit with a javelin. Deku was operating it like a pro. And Deku says, "Oh." And then Aaron says, "Here, go outside and practice with it. I just brought you here, and you're already handling like that you can control it perfectly like a pro." Deku says, It's kind of a thing I have." Deku begins to go inside of it. As Deku begins to fly around the obstacle course that Aaron made holographic things, Aaron's impressed. Aaron says it took me like a month just to figure. It took me just a month to calibrate my javelin. And Aaron's talking in his head. Sorry guys, I'm not talking. My friend's actually talking. If I'm done my video. Anyway, takes Deku just 3 days just to do that. And Aaron's like, "I'm impressed, kid." Deku's like, "Huh, I know." And Aaron said, "Hey, so I want you to meet my crew. This is Faye, and this is my successor." Deku's like, "Your successor? How old are you?" Aaron pulls off the javelin's helmet and just says, "I am 56. I'm pretty old, and I'm retiring after he does this mission. After we complete this mission into going to the Heart of Rage." And Deku says, "Fine. However, kid, you read all the regulations and in like another 4 days. Deku does this in 4 days easily. Deku and Faye begin talking. And no, I'm not shipping Deku with Faye. Unfortunately. Deku begins, like, the day is finally here. They're going to the Heart of Rage. Eren says, listen up, guys. As soon as we're done this mission, I'm retiring as a freelancer. My successor will be this leader's next, will be the squad's next leader. And all of you show him respect. And they're all like, yes, sir. And Eren says, suit up, we're going to the Heart of Rage. And Eren says to Faye, keep everyone linked. Faye says yes. She says, got it, boss. All of them being deploying. Deku's being deployed. He's like, what is this terrain? I've read the reports, but I didn't think it would be this bad. Deku's deployed, but his suit gets a bit damaged. He begins a full shutdown sequence, and Faye's like, Deku, let me see. I'll try to reboot your suit. Deku's like, says, yeah, come on. I see a Furion. Deku's like, okay. Faye's like, yeah, your suit's fully rebooted. Deku jumps up really high using the Ranger, and just slimes down in towards the Fury, killing it. Deku's like, suit's a bit damaged, my shoulder's gone, but I'm still working order. Faye, how far are the others? 52 meters. Got it. Deku's running. And he counts some of them. Or what's left. Deku just sees most of the squad that he's known for the 2 weeks. He already got close to them, but not really close. And this is where he sees Eren die! And Eren realizes that his successor is about to be killed. Eren pushes him out of the way, and Eren dies while getting crushed by a Titan. Deku says to the guy wearing the Colossus suit, and says, we have to stop. And Deku says, stop. Dude, stop. We can't go back for him. He's dead. And he's saying, no, we must complete this mission. We have to avenge him. And Deku punches him in the face, says, dude, we can't complete the mission if we're all dead. And after that day, the successor from Eren, for Eren, told Deku that he's no longer a freelancer, that he's a coward. Faye says he's not a coward, he just saved you. And he says, I'd rather die with my team than let him save me. Deku says, fine then, I quit the team. If you're too ignorant to actually think of your teammates and think of a tactical retreat, then you're no leader. I quit. And Faye's like, wait, Deku, don't. And Deku's like, it's too late. He made his damn decision. Four years later, Deku says, Ethan, can't remember the guy. Can't remember. I can't remember the guy's name. His name's Ethan or something. Deku says, Ethan, so what's his mission? It says, some rad roaches are some hostile animals are destroying some crops, so they asked us to fix it. And Deku says, really? And Eren says, yeah. Well, sorry about that, Deku, just, Oh yeah, his name's Owen. And Deku says, Owen. And Owen says, yeah? Did we really have just enough cash just to buy me this old, like, this thing, or javelin? Owen's like, yeah, sorry about that. We're just kind of low on money. He says, it's fine. As long as I get my ranger back, I won't complain. Deku, like, looks at this relic. Deku flies. But he has to go down and let his, like, thrusters reboot. Like, cool off. There you go. Deku sits on a rock, just waiting for him to cool down. Deku sees this peculiar egg, and Deku says, and Deku contacts Owen and says, Owen, do you know what this thing is? Owen says, that's a Titan egg. And Deku says, an egg for a Titan? Really? And everyone says, yeah, I don't know why they... This is actually my first time actually seeing a Titan egg. It's probably like a different breed, but we can probably train it to fight for us. And Deku's like, sure thing. And Deku puts the egg behind his back, carrying it. Deku begins to stand up and begins running, and he jumps and he begins he uses his jets to boost himself as he's flying. Deku's like, woohoo! Owen, this is really fun. Owen's like, yeah, I wish I had my own javelin. Deku's like, don't worry, I really hope you do get a javelin so we can actually fight each other. Owen's like, what? You will win! Deku's like saying, I know. Deku begins to get to a relic. It sees that's causing a lot of surge through a valley, and Deku looks at it, it's like, this relic's probably gonna overload at some point. It's gonna overload at any minute. I gotta stop it. Deku, since this javelin's not built for that, Deku decides to risk it. Deku going to the relic, going straight towards the electrical field, and Deku says, oh, come on. He's reaching to the relic. The relic's ripping pieces off his armor, his shoulders, and his leg. Deku is now beginning to say, this isn't how I'm gonna fucking die. Deku uses one of his thrusters. He boosts himself, hitting the relic's button. He twists it. As he's twisting it, he's pulling it up. He twists it again, and he pushes it back down, shutting the relic down. And Deku's kneeling down. It's like, and Deku says, Owen, you didn't tell me that the egg is attractable by electricity. Owen's like, oh, sorry, I forgot to mention that. Electricity does to go for a Titan. Because Titans are actually an electrical outlet, so it was like, you said that sooner. And Deku's like, come get a strider, pick me up. My suit's damaged. Owen's like, how damaged is it? Deku says, well, it's so damaged that I can't move. Owen's like, come on! As Deku's just waiting there for 2 hours, Deku notices that the egg's beginning to hatch, and Deku says to Owen, Owen, the egg's kind of hatching. Owen's like, oh no. The egg hatches, and for some reason it's a humanoid figure. No, it's not a humanoid figure yet. Deku is bleeding a little bit, so when he touched the egg, some of his blood went into the egg, and it began turning to almost a human-like form. Deku, says, Owen, is it supposed to be a human form? The one says, no, this is new. This actually could be pretty good for study, actually. We could probably sell it. Deku's like, I don't think so. She's like, she wakes, he, cracks out of the egg, busts out. She's like a child. Her hair is white, and her eyes are yellow. And her hands are humanoid, and she's not wearing anything, and she says, mm, Papa? And Dick is like, oh God. And Dick is like, oh God, I'm not going to be a dad, am I? Owen's like, what is it? Deku puts on his visor, and he shows Owen's like, oh my gosh, that's adorable, but could you cover up, please? Deku's like, yep, got it. Deku proceeds to get out of his javelin and covers her up with his sweater. Like, gives this sort of Titan a sweater. It's a hoodie. And she says, comfy. Dick's like, okay, that's new. Owen says, okay, I'm here. And Owen looks at this, like the freelance javelin, and Owen says, man, you really messed up the javelin. And Owen says, yeah. Sorry about that, Owen. Owen says, it's fine. But since we have a lot of money that we've been saving, we actually might buy you that Ranger javelin. Deck was like, yes! And Owen says, but what we're going to do with her? Deku says, well, why don't we just, like, adopt her? And no, Owen and Deku are not a thing. And Deku says to Owen, Owen, can I just adopt her, please? And Owen's like, okay, you're just you just wasted a good bargaining chip. Deku says, shut up, she's a child. What would be a good name for a Titan? What would actually be a good name? I'm like thinking of the name right now, guys, so. Anyway. I'll come back to it later. I'm gonna call her Alex. I'll call her Alex. As Deku's going back with the Strider, he sleeps. Owen's like piloting the Strider, driving it, and Owen's like, that is so adorable. But our profit script look pretty bad. As Deku's like as Deku's sleeping by himself, Deku notices that Alex is sleeping right next to him. Deku's like, and Deku says to Owen, Owen, do Titans imprint on the first person they see? And Owen says, yeah, they do. And Owen says, you pretty much stuck with her for life. And Deku's like, great. But Deku says it could be fun. As Deku gets to the city, Deku goes to shop and orders some. Deku gets out of the Strider and goes to her clerk and orders if they have any girls like clothing, and the guy says, why? Are you perv now? And Deku's like, no, I need her for like clothes for her. And the guy looks down at this girl, and and he looks at her. And she says, hello. And he like says, that is so goddamn cute. The guy's not realizing that that girl's a Titan. And the guy says, well, since she's like only wearing that hoodie, I'll get her proper clothes adjustments. Let me just go get them right now. It's just, here's the payment and the cash. The guy's like, thank you. The guy goes and gets it. He gets like some clothes for her, and the guy says, here. Deku says, thanks. And the guy says, welcome. Deku goes to his house, and he gives Alex her clothes. And Alex says, here, put it on. Alex says, how do I put this on? What are clothes? And what is... And Deku begins explaining everything about everything, and she says, oh, okay. So I call you Papa. Deku's like, fine. I am accepting you as my daughter. Says, okay. And that's when Deku, like, goes for a bounty hunt. And this will be the end of part 1. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I left it on a cliffhanger. I know. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one.